Today, in electile dysfunction, presidential contender Chris Christie launched his campaign with the hashtag #TellItLikeItIs. How could that possibly go wrong? Now, he, of course, encouraged others to do likewise. They chose to do that. He sent this tweet initially. It's official. I'm running for president. Christie 2016, telling it like it is. And that is apparently, at the very least, his internet slogan. I don't know why they do this, man. It is going to be co-opted instantly, and it was. Dana Orlock responded with, I work hard for my pension and pay for it. Teachers are gluttons? Look in the mirror, liar. Telling it like it is. Yes, he's been very outspoken in his contempt for
Do we know who
teachers'
Dana Orlock
unions.
is? She's
a teacher in New Jersey, allegedly. But we know what he thinks about teachers in New Jersey and around the country.
What's that? Jimmy Dore has that great teacher's joke that, again, blaming teachers for all the problem and how they're hoarding all that money, but they hide it well when they must sneak out and hide the money in their tercel. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's devious. It's diabolical.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Seth Hahn said, under Gov. Chris Christie's watch, New Jersey on track for $10 billion in tax cuts for wealthy, but taxes for working poor increase. Telling it like it is. Yeah, his tax policy is just a mess. Thank you, Seth, for pointing that out.
I mean, again, he didn't want to raise the gas tax. He didn't want to raise taxes, so he took $1.5 billion to build a tunnel that would have, again, helped traffic flow, and he just used it to avoid raising the gas tax. And then they did this scheme that is like the kind of scheme you'd come up with in an era before there were newspapers, where they need to raise the toll to
make up for it,
$4. And they're like, no, we can't do that. I tell you what, say you're going to raise it to $6, and I'll scream about it, and then we'll settle on $4.
Yeah, clever.
And
John
Corzine had planned it, and the Corzine people, John Corzine is is not the standard bearer of good government. And they were like, yeah, we can't do that. It's too transparent. But they did it, and then Cuomo and Christie are out there, and they agreed on $450 starting a year later. It's just, again, it's so, and who pays for that? Like, God forbid, he's cut taxes on the wealthiest New Jerseyans, people from New Jersey. He's cutting taxes on them. And again, he's got all these regressive taxes in there.
Yeah, the regular people just trying to get to work have to pay every day.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, and they'll continue paying for that for years to come. Let's see, Michael Phelan said, hashtag telling it like it is, that time when Chris Christie funneled $600 million in taxpayer fees to Wall Street firms. Yes, the mismanagement of the pension funds has helped out some people. However, they do live in New York City and they work for gigantic banks. They're doing quite well. Let's see, Manana says, under Christie, New Jersey ranked 49th out of 50 states in job growth. I looked that up last year. That was, in fact, true. Now, that is not entirely his fault, but it's hardly a record you want to run on.
I'll tell you what's going to kill him, in part also, again, as far as government that works. I mean, in this era where the economy has grown, it no longer can be called, one of the biggest criticisms of that Trump had of Obama is that now the criticism is that he's presided over one of the weakest recoveries in American history. Good luck.
Have fun with that.
But it's not even a weak recovery. Like, you could argue, certainly, that it is a recovery that has not reached enough Americans.
Yeah.
No question. And it's a totally valid criticism, and it's a valid criticism of both parties. But unemployment is now below 6. And when your state, like you're the tough guy who knows how to govern, and your unemployment rate is ahead of the national average, and your job growth during your tenure is 49th out of 50, that's on you. Good luck. Good luck explaining that away. Again, using the only things that he can use to set himself aside. Like, he blew his opportunity. Chris Christie needed to run in 2012. That's when he should have run. That's when he could have won. I don't think he would have, but he could have, and I think he's missed his time.
Yeah, in hindsight, I think that will be the case. Let's bring up this tweet from Richard Fowler of TOT Network, actually. I like this one. GTL no longer stands for Gym Tan Laundry. Under Chris Christie, it's giveaways, taxes, losers. And that's actually not a Photoshop, which is hard to believe. But yeah, he's in better shape than you would expect.
Okay, first of all,
he needs to stop wearing those baggy suits, really.
I like Richard. GTL?
It's a New Jersey Shore thing.
Oh, okay.
Their life literally revolves around the gym, tanning, and laundry.
Okay.
I don't know why they need to do laundry so much.
Okay, it's a Jersey thing. All right.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He's down with the pop culture. And then let's see, Pat H. Saying what you referred to earlier, Chris Christie, are you going to hug Obama again? I will never vote for you.
Yeah, right.
Hashtag telling it like it is. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a ridiculous hashtag. But I do think that he needs to run in this way. He needs to stress, look, not everybody likes me. I'm a regular guy. I'm kind of brash. As if that just means he's going to get stuff done. But he's both doing that because he doesn't have an actual record to run on. I didn't write down all the stats, but there were literally 3 categories that last year New Jersey was 49th in. Like, he doesn't have a jobs record to run in. He doesn't have a tax record that he can actually admit to run on. And so he has to use these sorts of the valence issues, the personal characteristics. And honestly, the whole thing about him being the regular guy who tells it like it is, and he's kind of like a bully, like that's supposed to appeal to Republicans. That has always had the potential to be looked at from the other side, where he is a corrupt guy who's willing to screw over regular people to get what he wants. And it only takes a couple of instances like Bridgegate and like the 9/11 memorial, the bits of the wreckage to spin that in a really dark way. And I don't think that he's going to be able to run it. He can't run on the record. He can't run on who he is as a person. I think that he's doomed coming right out of the gate.